Last time on Wild West, The Reckoning. After going back in time to Ed's arena fight, watching the inevitable conclusion as he defeated the strange drow man who wore sunglasses and may or may not have once said, fuck the sun, and I quote. Um, it was then revealed after seeing some Ed merch outside and him having been extended an invitation from Georgie, the arena master, if he wished to test himself in more difficult combat in the future. That this organization under him, known as the Moderate Himbo Alliance, was some strange sort of goblin eugenics project to slowly make them more handsome. But they also sold a bunch of items with his likeness that he wasn't getting the royalties for. But I guess Ed didn't question it or necessarily know what the royalties fuck were. They then spoke to the Drow, where he informed them that he was part of an organization known as Brigand Arth, and that he was moving against the other Drow houses that had taken over the Confederacy. And that in exchange for them taking out a House Obadera outpost and leaving the items therein behind for his people to collect, that they would continue to have a mutual sort of alliance with one another for the time being. After many questions were asked and the definition of what was to be left in their care was solidified, they came to an accord, and then we jumped them forward back to being in Austin, which is where you guys are now. This is a day past after the meeting with the Sins, which that was a whole thing that everyone was definitely there for. But you would all be, I believe it was. Yeah, I don't think a particular circle was used. I think you guys were already just gathered in the general vicinity of the hunters when you had pulled out the card to go meet with Coulter, to be there for the Council of Sins meeting. And but yeah, you find yourselves once more back out in the open street, seemingly not too much later. I guess it would be like the early afternoon of New Year's Day. So the city's a bit busy. People are kind of going to like secondary parties. But yeah, the rest of the day is yours. But you got quite a lot of things.
And where are we currently? Sorry.
In front of the hunters. You're back in Austin.
Okay, just wanted to clarify. All right. So, has anyone been down that way south before?
No.
Nope.
Well, has anyone had any mingling with the Confederate controlled areas before?
Not really.
Yeah, no, not really.
Unless you count the ziggurat.
Not really. Well, What's the game plan for getting there again? Are we teleporting? Are we traveling on foot?
Can we teleport?
So I'd say that it's kind of it's kind of hold on. Let me
Well, we can technically use the teleport spell to get there. But
uh
there's chance for mishap.
so there are, and these are just kind of more like major rail lines that stretch across the Confederacy. There are trains that'll go in and out of there, and up until the attack on Austin, there was trade between the Republic and the Confederacy just to, I guess, sort of keep up appearances because they were equally also trading with the Union. It's weird. Sometimes trains still come in from the Confederacy, but they're like, because like Machina Industries, their headquarters is in South Carolina. And as far as the general populace of both of the current nations are concerned, well, the Republic included, so all three of them, they just kind of let those trains go unabated for one reason or another. So you know that those trains will come from the Confederacy into the Republic. They're scrutinized, of course, but beyond that, you're not sure if you could just catch a regular passenger train.
So if we're going in, we're probably going to have to be very inconspicuous.
So like, you know, at least for what the Drow guy said to you, his thing is in Louisiana. You were also contacting what is her name again? From the Seven.
Ashlyn.
Ashlyn, yeah. You were also contacting Ashlyn, and you knew that her labyrinth was also in Louisiana. With that being much closer in terms of sharing a border with the Republic, you feel like you could probably take a train about as far as the edge of the Republic, but then after that, you'd have to make some of the trek at least into Louisiana, and then maybe eventually hop on a train to get to New Orleans proper.
Just to clarify, where does the Confederacy stop on the map? Going from the north, is it border Kentucky and Tennessee?
Yeah.
Okay. So what we could do is we could take
That
it
line.
from Austin through Missouri and circle around through Arkansas or Kansas if you want.
That would probably take like several weeks.
Good point.
Yeah,
Do we have
I'm
any time constraints
If
right
we were to
now?
go by train,
well. Particularly, you're unsure. From what you got from, what did I say his name was again? I think I said it was Jaren. Jaren had told you that the abductions that were happening was basically being done by this one drow house, and that effectively that they were experimenting on people there.
yeah.
If that resulted in their death or not, he didn't specify, but I mean, who knows?
I forget, do we have this spell teleport in our party or no?
Yes,
I forget.
Wilfred has it.
Oh,
Wolf has it.
And Wilford is he or is he not coming with us?
I think for simplistic sake, Wilford will come regardless whether or not Walter is coming. So, if Walter does in fact make it, I guess I'll play 2 characters, but I don't know.
Oh, I forgot about that.
Oh, guess I gotta make them romance.
Yeah.
Why?
Mm-hmm.
Well, it's wait. Well,
I'll be out there in a minute.
first of all, one of them is already married.
What's your point?
That's just rude, man.
Oh, my Discord cut out for whatever was just said.
Good.
Well, it was unimportant.
Good. So,
I just heard, what's your point?
I could repeat it, but it'd be weird.
No, don't worry about it. Don't worry about it.
Don't worry about it. Yeah, you'll find out.
It'll be blatantly obvious when it happens. But if that's the case, should we attempt a teleport?
Yeah, that makes sense.
yeah, you can.
I could try to teleport us directly to New Orleans. The chances of it
Yeah.
going awry, because I'd have to be going off of a description of it. Because I've never seen New Orleans.
Well, here's an interesting question. How flat is the landscape between Austin and Louisiana?
Okay, for one thing, the horizon is about 11 miles. So even if it was flat enough to see New Orleans, it's below the horizon.
Good. Oh, we can get to an elevated spot, see if that makes a difference, but That is also, as will be, as time consuming.
Perhaps.
And I'm guessing if we even attempt to just casually cross the border, we are going to be stopped by Confederate soldiers.
So I will say that, like, the border with the Republic and the Confederacy, and I'd say that this would you would know this in terms of like some common knowledge here. If it is patrolled, it was initially patrolled by the Confederacy. After the attack, likely both of them. However, the Republic has limited resources, and the Confederacy is openly fighting a war against the Union. So they obviously can't divert all of their people to border patrol with a third-party nation.
So there
And
hasn't been any direct conflict between the Republic of Texas.
since they attacked Austin, there's not been any direct conflict between the Confederacy and the Republic. But I will also say that the disputed territory between Kansas, Arkansas, and the Republic, you know that there have been skirmishes between the Union and the Confederacy there. If you were to try and sneak through, that would probably be a better bet in terms of a less guarded area. But it would be pretty dangerous because if you potentially decided to disguise yourselves as, say, Confederates to sneak past their lines, you might get shot by the Union.
Well, better question is, do we look like Union?
If you look like Union, you might get shot by the Confederates.
Based on how we look, do we even hold any rank or file of what side we're on?
If you're not wearing uniforms, people would probably assume you're either from the Union or the Republic, but most likely the Republic. If you were wearing uniforms, they would probably assume that, like, Ed might be like a slave soldier if you're a Confederate.
I don't
If
know
you're
how
Union,
that.
you might be like freed, you know?
Ed, would you even be considering that as an option?
If we have to. Too bad.
All right.
Yeah, so if I try to teleport, it's a 25% chance that we'll make it.
Oh, I do not like those odds.
That we
Those are
will-
great
I
odds.
love those odds.
It is a 40% chance that a mishap will happen, a 10% chance that we'll end up in a similar place.
What is a similar place to freaking New Orleans?
Any city, any coastal city like that's in a swamp, anywhere.
So Florida.
Could be.
Maybe
There's also
we could also end up in South America.
Oh,
some
fuck
parts
no.
of South Carolina are pretty swampy near the coast.
And then we can also end up off target, which is we're close, but we are 1d10 times 1d10% of the distance that was to be traveled.
Or we could just take a bunch of fucking damage.
So, well, yeah, that's a mishap. So 1d10%. Yeah, we could end up like in the middle of the Gulf of Mexico with no boat.
Yeah, I'm not up for that.
So yeah, I don't recommend
So-
teleport without an associated object or known teleportation circle.
Do we just ask someone if they have a souvenir?
That could
That's-
work.
I don't think that would be enough.
An associated object, as long as it was there within the last 100 days, it would work.
Oh,
Okay. Do we have any idea who could even been
Hold
to
on
Louisiana?
1 second. I may have something.
Really?
I'm gonna look through my bag.
Okay.
I received a note. I believe it was a note or a letter
You received a letter, yes?
from a man. Did not write down his name. But I did write down, I believe, the warehouse district in New Orleans?
Sounds about
And he
right.
had a business proposition for me about Bruce Bucks.
I believe it was a
That would
Mr.
get us
Stoudemire.
there, as long as within the last 100 days, I believe. Let me double check for associated item. Oh, 6 months, not 100 days. 6 months.
So as long as the piece of paper he got, he wrote it on was from there, then it would be good?
Hypothetically.
I think because like he wrote the letter there, that would like overwrite the origin of the paper.
Well, I don't know if he wrote it there. He left it in Bruce Bucks. So
Oh,
Do we want to gamble with it?
how much would it increase our odds?
It would be 100% to wherever that letter is from.
Would be
Okay,
would be
so-
helpful.
We
So
could
even if
end
it's-
up, I don't know, in Gate Town if he wrote it
Okay,
there.
that's not bad then. I say we take those odds. It's much better.
That's yeah.
We'll have to
Huh?
wait until. Oh no! This is after.
We should be
This
all
is the
good.
next day. Okay, yeah. I've rested after that. Okay, because the arena happened and.
Yeah, nobody during this day, with the meeting with Coulter, as far as I remember, used any spells.
I used detect thoughts psionically, so I have to take off.
Oh,
two spell
yeah,
points.
yep. That's right. I'm sorry, I did forget about that.
Yeah, I could teleport us to wherever that letter is from. And if we end up in Gate Town, well, we end up in Gate Town.
Okay,
We could also
before
end up
you-
on, I don't know, a trail towards Gate Town.
I'll say, Aaron, just very quickly, because this is something being told me that he wanted to do. Aaron's going to say, well, if that's the case, and we might end up somewhere that we're not meant to, I'm going to go get some more material components for casting a teleportation circle.
How are you doing on funds?
I'm good right now. Thank you though.
Okay.
Appreciate it. And
Speaking
he's
of
just
which, how
gonna
much money
go
did I get?
quickly get that. Oh, did I not do that? Did I not?
No, you did not.
Fuck.
I bet 1,200 gold, and it was high in the odds for Ed to win.
Yeah, he was the favorite. Shit, Bean had a thing, and he was like gonna send it to me that night, and then I think we got caught up with something else. You made some money. Just give me some time with that, please.
Okay, just popping it up just in case. That's all.
I will get it to you though. I'm notoriously bad at math. Um, was there something specific that you wanted to like go buy? Is that why you were saying it?
No, just having the funds to deal with bullshit.
Okay. All right. But yeah, I'll say Aaron just goes and does that very quickly because it shouldn't take him too long. And then he'll meet you back by the Hunters Association and be like, all right, I'm ready to go.
Mm. If this does bring us to our chosen destination, no one mentioned my last name.
Should we make up a fake one?
Sure, what do you got in mind?
Um,
What's a common
Smith.
Confederate name?
Common Confederate name.
Just go with Lee.
Do
Yeah,
I look like a Lee?
Sure.
yeah, you've got that Southern
I'm-
plantation owner
I'm-
countenance.
I have straight German ancestry.
I think your name should be Marcus Dean.
Hmm.
No,
Far away. Marcus smiles.
you know what? I'm what the fuck? I'm just gonna go Tesla. Because why not?
Wait, why can't you use your last name in the Confederacy?
Did I tell you guys what what one of my brothers does for the Union?
You said one was like a magic programmer. I forget what your other one was.
Or yeah, a magical programmer for the military in the Union.
He's that famous?
He's a big shot.
I don't know, and I don't want to find out if if our last name has made its way down this far.
I see.
I'm just being safe about it.
Let's see.
Yeah, it's fine.
Let me read this real quick.
What you reading?
I'm reading the how teleport works just to make sure of some things.
It'd be associated object that we're using.
Associated object. Oh, there we go. Associated object means that you possess an object taken from the desired destination within the last 6 months. Yeah, I was seeing something though. Where is it? Oh, okay. False destination is a place that doesn't exist. Alright. Associated object means that you possess an object taken from the desired destination in the last 6 months, such as a book from one. Okay. And for
Desired destination is wherever the letter came from. So if it's not from New Orleans, it won't be a mishap.
an associated object is 1 to 100. Okay, so that means what? Nothing bad can go wrong.
Yes.
I shouldn't even roll.
You just determine are we landing where we're where we plan to, or are we landing in somewhere else?
Okay, so Wilfred casts the spell as you all first gather around, and very much once again, like the Harry Potter portkey sort of experience, you all feel yourselves almost kind of like funnel sucked up into the air above you, rapidly spinning until you eventually sort of like feel your entire being pinched through like almost like a pinhole and then spat out the other end at seemingly faster speed, but going, we'll say, in the opposite direction. Maybe perhaps you started going clockwise, now counterclockwise, and you would all land on your feet.
Where are we?
Hold on.
Do we recognize the place?
Yeah, give me a second. Give me a second.
Please tell me when we.
Yep.
Yeah. God damn it!
And where's good old Bruce Bucks? Bruce
Wait a
Bucks
second.
is right over here. You would appear. I'll use the Aaron token. You would appear right out in front of the chapters.
The fucker made it here?
God damn.
I'm almost positive in the letter that he sent you, he had said that he had missed you, so that's why he left the letter.
Yeah, it was a letter
Oh,
left.
fuck.
Yeah.
But I
It
was
wasn't a bad idea. It wasn't. Yeah, no, that wasn't a bad idea. But yeah, no, he did in fact write it here. I think he took the paper from chapters.
God damn it.
So, relatively, how far did we, accordance with the main map, how far did we actually move?
How far did you actually move? In terms of toward the destination that would be the Confederacy,
We went the opposite direction.
you went much further away. From Austin to Glacier Break, you went northwest a good 600 miles.
God damn it.
Well, we tried.
Okay, now
You did
we're
try.
more ways back than we intended. So should we just teleport back to Austin and trek by foot or take a train?
Yeah, we can also ask by the college. Don't they sell
Teleportation
circles?
circles, yes.
Do you
Probably.
think you even have access to any in Louisiana?
It's
Probably not.
possible. Yeah, it's
Yeah,
unlikely, but it's possible.
Could be.
Can we even get there today?
Not through me, unfortunately. It would have to be someone using a teleportation circle spell.
I think Aaron can.
Aaron?
He just bought the resources for it, so. Let me see if I have any left. I don't think I do.
He would be able to use the teleportation circle in the Temple of the Mind Forged to take you back to.
No, you can just draw
Austin.
that anywhere. You don't have to.
Oh yeah, that's right. I'm sorry. Yeah, so he could take you back to Austin, which would be the closest location back to your destination.
Alright.
Which I think. Yeah. I'm gonna have to tell him.
I just had a fun thought. Though it would be a weird way to use teleport.
Well, don't keep us in suspense.
Well, essentially, we head to the border on foot. If we can't find a teleportation circle at the college, then when we hit the border, we literally just teleport to a destination we see the farthest away.
That would give us an 11-mile trip at max.
Yeah. And you want to know what that else would do? Make us not be readily seen or even be able to catch up to by anyone if they attempt to come after us. But that's just me shooting in the dark.
I don't know, I think that'd be kind of risky because yeah, we can see something 11 miles away on a good day, but like, technically that would be seen casually,
And that'd be a bit
not a
of
guaranteed trip. It's a 50% chance that we'll get there.
Yeah. So, okay, I guess it is a bad idea. I don't know. Does anyone have any ability to do a mass illusion on us? For just in case?
I mean, Aaron, I remember being talking about how he can make disguises for everyone because he has a proficiency in the disguise kit.
Yeah, he does.
What do you
And
think,
then
Barry?
he would say, "Yeah, I can disguise this pretty good. At least I think I can. Feel like Ed might be a little bit more difficult in terms of just a straight disguise, but a magical disguise should work just fine.
Do we have access to a
Alright.
disguise self hat? Hat of disguise?
Didn't Marcus have?
Marcus had one, yeah, but he took it with him.
I
I
have the
wasn't gonna have
disguise
him
self
leave.
spell.
Oh, you do?
It is not concentration, but I can only do it on myself.
Yeah, that is true. Yeah. All right, I'll say Aaron will just kind of like look around. All right, guys. Well, I guess since we wound up here, last call. If there's anything you think you need, go grab it now before it sends us back to Austin.
I don't
I'm
really
good.
need anything from Gate Town.
I figured I'd ask. And then he will performance of creation the materials and cast the spell because I forgot that he can do that.
He can
So-
only performance of creation half the materials.
Yes, yeah. What he went to buy, what he told me he went to buy, he bought an excess of the one that he cannot.
I see.
Yeah. So, yeah. So he will draw the teleportation sequence and take y'all back to the college, to the loading dock.
All right, and as a member of the staff, I will go and see about finding out if they have a teleportation circle in somewhere in Louisiana.
Yep.
Okay. I'll say that you head up to the library, where they tend to sell that sort of stuff and have that information available for procurement. And Todd would be on shift. And
Mr. Howard, I'm looking to see if you have any teleportation circles in Louisiana for purchase.
Well, that would be a little bit of a difficult location, but let me see what I can find. I'll say he spends the better part of a good 10 minutes just going through a very large tome until eventually he just goes, well, it would seem that the only ones that I have available are, well, within the Confederacy. Richmond, Virginia. He would say, what else would he have? Oh, you know what I could do? You know what I could do? I'm gonna look at the map of the Confederacy that I had Beck make for me.
Why don't
Fuck
we
yeah.
take us all there? 'Cause I'm
Yeah,
sure-
you know what? You're right. You're right. You're right. You're right. Where's the image in our DMs? I actually have to fucking set up a page for it. There we go. Save image Confed V2. Uh, 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 uh. And scroll through the funny thing. Upload Confed V2. Load. Get over here.
Oh, it's tiny. Now it's stretched. Now it's a thing.
All right. He would have one for Richmond, one for Wilmington, yeah, Jacksonville, and yeah, he would only have those.
Jacksonville would be our best bet.
I mean, it's further away than Austin is. Not by much.
Yeah,
But,
but-
it would allow us to take a train directly there.
yeah, that's what I'm saying.
But that's 1, 2,
But
3,
we'd be in the
4
territory.
states in the Confederacy. We'd have to travel through.
Yeah, but we'd be on train, so we should be relatively fine.
Unless they stop the train occasionally for inspections and like, oh hey, you look non-native.
We could stay out of main roads and shit.
I mean, I haven't been there in a long time, or maybe ever. I don't really remember. Are me and Ed like welcomed there? Would we? be-
It's like a human only kind of deal. I don't.
It's not. Yeah, so it's not like man, how do I put this? I guess it wouldn't be like the same, I guess, level of racism, right? Where like, it's like, you're lesser than us. It's like there's the bias, and they'll catch you, and you don't. Man, okay. So if you're a non-human, or like half elves get a pass, half orcs not so much.
So it's a vibes thing.
It's definitely like you, anything that looks generally human. Regular elves can sometimes pass, but like it's rare cases. Effectively, the way how they see it and the way how like their laws allow them to quote unquote get away with it is like you are foreigners from a completely different place. You don't have rights here. So if you are here and you are not a registered citizen or somebody's slave, you will be captured and you will likely be sold into slavery unless you have enough money or influence to buy citizenship, in which that case you're a second-class citizen, but for the most part, you're free. You're not going to be forced to like go pick cotton or tobacco or work in the mines or do some other sort of, like heinous task. But, like you can't go to certain things, like you won't be able to vote. You wouldn't be able to.
Use certain drinking fountains.
No, not drinking. No. Definitely, it would probably almost like segregation in terms of like certain stores. So like it would be kind of be like how they had ghettos for the Jews. You'd have like certain areas that would be built within certain cities where like like this city might be a little bit more quote unquote progressive, so they have like an integrated ghetto, whereas others would just be like no. Faerunians Tyrillians and like whatever else you're from. If you're not from here, you live there. Yeah. And I would even say too, beyond all that, like which you guys would know, it's very much not just the whole stereotypical like you picking plant. You are definitely used as like a labor force to feed the war machine. So like make fucking weapons of war for them, mine resources, a lot of really very intensive stuff like that. And Ed, especially now that you've gotten bigger and stronger, you'd be a fucking prize to them. You know that like if they could catch you and put you to work, oh boy.
Yeah.
You'd be like a mobile crane, essentially.
Yeah, you'd be a fucking prize workhorse for them. So
They can fucking try.
I mean,
Yeah, I don't want to.
We'd be in their turf.
Fucking.
It's suicide if we fight back without an escape
Well,
plan.
Who's
And I-
really good at flying?
and I will say that like that's like the call it the company line. That's the company line. You would know from like you living on the border, because what was it? Murfreesboro is it was in Tennessee, right?
It's in Tennessee, yeah.
Yeah, so you would know from living there. Simple folk, they don't give a shit. They're not really like that. So if you're not in a big city or you're in like a more slummier, poorer area of a city, you think that like you could get away with like not being turned into people. But you start trying to go to high end areas or go near like places where the military is, especially the military. Oh yeah, no, that would be a really dangerous prospect for you guys.
What about in the case of, well, Bruce?
So like I said, Bruce, I don't know if he would necessarily be like as valued for labor as Ed. No offense to Bruce, because he's
How
not really built
dare
that
you.
way.
Got him.
But like they have uses for like just about it. So like I would even say, because like this sounds like it would make sense. They would likely use like both elementals and genasi of like earth, fire, water, and air. Yeah, so all four of them likely to like operate big things. So like forges in factories and shit like that. Like keep the fires going, but don't let it get so hot that it burns things out. So they can also like simultaneously cool it down and keep efficiency going. You imagine that they're worked very intensely as well.
Probably the magically inclined ones too are potential being turned into a contractor of sorts.
Yeah, people that, and I'd say that too. Some contractors you haven't encountered any of them that you can remember, but then again, you didn't fight all the contractors when they hit Austin. You only really fought like 2 dudes and a dragon. That was just like one self-contained battle of what was a massive attack. But I'd say you'd know that there are plenty of non-humanoid contractors that likely were forced into it. So.
Okay. Bruce, do you have any way to disguise yourself just in case?
Yeah, I can disguise myself for an
Okay.
hour at a time.
It's enough.
I mean, if Aaron makes disguises, they'll be a bit more permanent.
Yeah, I'm not sure how makeup works with Bruce.
It'll be like a mask or something like that.
But how do you?
Just concealer all over your whole body.
But yeah, that takes care of his body. But what about his hair?
His hair, it looks like fire. It's not literally on fire.
This
Does it have a
is
glow?
true. I
Because otherwise you'd have to wear a fireproof hat.
That's true.
oh yeah. That's
Okay.
I didn't think about that.
Just give him a wig. He'll be fine.
Alright.
Ed,
Mm.
We're gonna put a beard on you and call you Grog. I'm joking.
How tall are you, Ed?
Fucking tall.
I'm tall.
How tall is Ed?
Dude, he's 8'7".
8'7". Fuck. Okay. How tall was Andre the Giant?
I
8'2".
don't think he was 8 foot.
I actually looked this up because I was like, how much did he weigh?
He
He
was 7'4".
7'4".
Weighed 520 pounds.
Oh fuck.
I think I got
Um,
that almost accurate. It's like 547 from Jacksonville to New Orleans.
Unfortunately, the only ones that are humans with that record height had gigantism.
Yeah. Of course. But like, even then you could potentially pass them off as human, but Ed's a bit too tall.
Yeah, because Andre the Giant had gigantism.
I mean, there's
Tallest
traveling
person ever was
circuses.
8'11".
Yeah, but there's a more plausible reason for Ed being massive that's not that. Because Goliath they exist.
Well, we could have just also explained it away with magic.
He drank. Yeah, we can just make you look human and just like if anyone asks, it's like, oh yeah, terrible mishap with magic. That's why he doesn't like magic now.
Sure. Yeah, I mean,
All right, so is just to clarify here, is the plan to buy
Jacksonville.
Jacksonville? Okay.
And then take the train. I guess we'll have to wait for Aaron to finish the disguises.
Before you
Yeah, Wilfred doesn't need one.
Yeah, because you're half.
Half elf. Yeah, and to maybe get a little bit better treatment, I can tuck my ears under my hair a bit.
Maybe even put like little fake nubs on your ears to round them out.
I'll just cover
Not
it
sure
with the
about
hair. The hair should be fine. Because half elves are
Yeah.
okay. They're not great, but they're okay. So if at a distance people think I'm human, then that's fine.
Yep.
But yeah, how much for the Jacksonville circle?
what did I charge for New York if I remember right? I think I charged like 30. Yeah, he'll say 50.
50? 50
Yeah,
gold?
50 gold. Yep.
Alright, here's 5 platinum.
There are no good maps of Jacksonville from that long ago. No, not Jacksonville, New Jersey. What the fuck? I didn't know there was a Jacksonville in New Jersey.
There's a lot of places with duplicate names.
Basically, no bridges existed on the St. Johns River. Is that the actual Jacksonville? Yeah. No bridges. City limits was the current downtown. 9,000 people.
Epic Embedville? Yeah, probably.
I have a map that's similar to the one of Austin, but it's from 1878.
Oh, Epic Embed fail.
It didn't fail.
It's
Fail
there.
for me.
I
What?
see it.
Am I Epic fail?
You might
Maybe.
be Epic Fail. Which one do you have?
Epic meme
It's
fail?
from 1878.
But my roll 20's in English.
78. Is that the same thing that I sent, or
No,
what? Did,
it's different. Because you have a bird's
Old
eye view. I have a
vintage.
overhead like drawn map.
Hold on. I just found one. Of Let's see if this is the right one. This is 1859. That
Good
ought to
enough.
work. Good enough. Yeah, close enough. Fuck. Give me a new page. And let's drop this son of a bitch in.
Yeah, how do people like the non-north up map?
The non what?
The map with north not being up.
North kind of tilted a little bit.
Yeah.
Pretty nice. Pretty fresh.
Here we go. So let's take a look at this. Since it gives me no fucking clue what any of these places are. Let's say that one of these particularly larger, you know what, if that's a square and that's supposed to be a bigger square, let's say that no. Actually, no. Yeah, that could work. We'll say this building right here, or no, this one right here is like the train station, and you'd get warped to right into the middle of the train station.
We waited for Aaron to make the disguises, right?
Yeah. Sorry, he. You know what? Let me roll for him.
It's got some. Oh.
Some disguise rolls. How many people is he disguising?
Is he trying to disguise me?
I guess he'd disguise you, and he'd disguise Bruce.
Yeah.
And then if Walter's here, if you'd have to disguise Walter too a bit. Actually, I don't think there's much that can be done.
Kind of a
with
young.
He's a kiddo.
He could pass. Yeah, he could
Not much
totally
can be done
pass.
with dwarves.
Maybe he just has to shave.
What does the? Yeah, he'd probably have to shave.
He shaves and it
what
grows
does-
immediately back.
What? I have nothing pinned to Wild West. You're lying to me. There we go.
Which way is north on this map?
That is a phenomenal question.
Kings Road?
I'll get back to you on that. Where did I put it? It was probably in the. It's in the D&D general, isn't it? I always do this. Nope, D&D FAQ. What do we have it go off of? Disguise kit. Charisma.
Oh,
Okay.
for like, yeah. Better be charisma.
Pre attribute charisma.
If it's helpful, I can cast guidance on him just to make it a bit easier for him.
Yeah, I do
Sure,
that.
why not?
That's,
I'll say
that's a
he would
great
have.
idea.
Yeah, he would have had time before we did this because we said that that's what he was doing. So, all right.
I believe up is north.
Ooh!
Okay, who would have gone first?
Me.
Well, remember, it's a skill check.
Add a
So-
D4 and
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh!
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Let it be me.
Okay. So I mean, like, it's not an absolute disaster. Some makeup has been put on Ed's face.
once we see it, can we see that it's not great and just take the time to make actually good disguises? Because otherwise, like, this seems like we're just rushing it.
Sure. Why not?
Are there
Yeah.
gray spots?
There,
So I think they'd probably look at you more now.
there's a lot of splotchiness, and the foundation was doing you no favors.
I think you got a third eye now.
Holy
No,
shit.
that's just one of the. I couldn't fill it in. Let's start this over. And he just like comes over with like a damp cloth and roughly scrubs your face.
Mm.
Sorry, got to make sure I get it down to the pores. And yeah, he'll take the 10 minutes for both of you. And we'll say that Ed, he would have you. How I guess how difficult would Ed be? So like he'd tell you that like having your like shirt open and everything means that he'd have to basically like make up your whole upper body. So would you be willing to put on like say like a long sleeve shirt?
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, he'll
We got one that breathes just fine.
yeah,
So you won't
like
be-
it's a little stuffy, but yeah, you feel like you could breathe well enough. It's not gonna tear if you like flex your muscles or anything.
Might have to spend extra gold to buy something.
Actually, yeah, you might. So yeah, all right. I mean, because yeah, you take the time. He goes to get the teleportation sequence. Yeah, okay, whatever. So you go somewhere close by, and you get some clothes that'll fit. And I'll say that he kind of like does the neck, and then like the whole face and head, and like by the time it's done, Ed from like the shoulder / neck area to the top of his head, he looks Caucasoid, and he would have like had you put on a long sleeve shirt.
I don't
And
like the wig, but
yeah. Oh yeah, the
I
wig.
hope I get used to it. Ugh.
Yeah. You know what? What would fit for Ed? Probably like a curly, like auburn maybe. I don't know.
Sure.
Like
Or like I'm thinking like, well, who's the guy in Dragon Ball? Hercule,
oh, like an afro, like a Hercules thing.
like a huge ass.
Yeah. Sure, why not? Okay. Yeah. That's amazing. All right. And then Bruce. Did you have any notes for Aaron how you wanted to look?
No, not really. Can you give me big muscles?
Okay, let's not go crazy.
I mean, I can stuff your. Hold on, and he'll
Yes.
after he finishes with that, which he would tell you, Ed, he'd be like, probably keep your gauntlets on or like your gloves, so that way we don't have to put makeup on your hands.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and then
I'm leaving these on anyway.
he'd go over to you, Bruce. He'd like sit you down, look at you for a little bit, and then just go, All right, I think I know what I can do. And he ends up kind of like working with, yeah. I wonder if this will work. I definitely know color theory. I'm an artist.
Mm.
We'll say that he goes with like using the sort of like orangish color, of your skin to sort of like try and get like more of a. This is gonna sound so racist. I guess maybe more of like a native sort of vibe, you know, by like,
Okay.
and yeah, because I mean, like they called them Redskins. Their skin wasn't obviously actually red, but it's like that sort of reddish brown. So
It's like a warmer skin tone.
yeah, so like he would sort of like play with what you have to sort of get that, since they seemingly don't have any current agenda towards native peoples.
I was gonna say you could look Italian, but they're not white yet.
No, they are not.
They're like olive.
Yeah.
They're very much not.
Same with Irish. They're not white yet.
We'll get there. We'll get there.
We're still not white now.
I promise we'll get there.
But yeah, he eventually he gets it going, and you would notice that he took like a lot of like doilies and not doilies, sorry, handkerchiefs, and then like almost like hand towels, and like stuffed them in different places in your shirt. So from like the legs, from the waist up, Bruce now looks like a jacked native man. But upon closer inspection, you can see that like some of the spots where the muscles should be don't quite like stay in the right place, and maybe they move a little bit too much because the towels like go to fall inside of the sleeves, and then Aaron has to like come over and adjust them. But he finally gets to where he thinks that it's just good enough and they'll stay, and he's like, all right, there you go, I have made you buff.
Fuck yeah.
So they'll focus on the
Nice.
fact that he's not actually buff, rather than the fact that he's not actually native.
Yeah, probably, who knows.
Ed, how good are you at lying?
How good am I at lying? I'm an honest man, Jarbo.
Okay.
I'm an honest man. But all right. So your disguise is prepared. Wilfred, tucking his ears, and if Walter is there, just shaving. You bamf.
If
Holding.
Walter is there, let's make a dex check. Walter doesn't cut himself.
Oh, with his okay, yeah.
He's never shaved before. He's never had to.
Mm.
That's true. Okay.
Yeah, I can't help him with that.
Unfortunately, no. That's a journey he must walk alone. Because I don't think the rest of you have any facial hair. Like, you have the potential to, but I don't think any of you. Does Jarvis?
Well, that would
Am I
mean they'd
bugging?
have to shave, right?
Yeah, they'd have to shave if they don't have facial hair and they have the potential to.
Surely.
What about Jarvis?
Well, no, that one art of him, he's got a 5 o'clock shadow, so I guess he does shave.
Yeah.
Use the recent art that I posted.
I don't see of the recent art that just got posted. The only person that seems to have any facial hair is Walter.
Yeah.
Okay, so then I guess Jarvis doesn't have any facial hair.
Not this time.
All right. So yeah, you all bamf in at the train station. Not as grand as Austin's. It seems to only take in like 2 trains at a time. There does seem to be a small, manned by only a singular kobold caravan post within the train station, as well as sure. We'll say that there's like a hawker on like a wooden box that's like handing out copies of the Jacksonville Times, and that's probably all you'd initially see. And then I mean, like all the major train stations, small or big, have the Machina logo somewhere around. But yeah, you have arrived in Jacksonville. And as for where north is, where the fuck is?
I figured it out.
Oh, I see. You
Based
just
on
pointed.
finding
Okay.
modern day's Kings Road, and correlating it with the marina here, yeah, it is slightly this way.
Excellent
Okay.
work.
I like maps.
Yeah.
You know what frustrates me so much as a quick sidebar? All the maps that we have of Yonkers for work, north is like this way. And I hate that. Because they put it on its side, so it's easier for you to understand where all the precincts sectors are and everything. But yeah, so are y'all just gonna catch a train?
I guess so.
All right.
Let's get the
Let's
ticket.
get a train.
Yeah. Go to the train station.
Okay.
Any out of curiosity, any cultural shocking things as we're making our way?
So it's not a particularly large train station. Because at this current time, Jacksonville is not quite so big. I would say, despite a war being on, there's a lot of people coming and going. People waiting for trains, people getting off of one of the trains. It seems like, I don't know, they're either like unaware of what's happening in the greater world, or it just doesn't affect them here, so they don't worry about it. Nobody seems to notice that anyone among you is different. I mean, you would have gotten a couple like looks when you teleported in, but not like looks of anger or anything like that. They're just kind of like, oh, okay, somebody used the circle.
I'll just be very hunched over.
I'd say, yeah, you're taller. I mean, they'd look at you. They'd probably like give you a second glance, but then upon realizing that you're like humanoid, they'd just be like, ah, okay, whatever.
Today I saw a tall guy.
Ed is the tall man.
And then I guess I'd say there would be a post within the train station, kind of almost like an information desk, and you just see like 2 Confederate soldiers sitting there, just seemingly minding their business. One of them seems to be like writing a letter, and the other one is reading the newspaper.
All right. Is there like a little bell or anything?
Oh, in terms of like buying a ticket?
Or like something like to get their attention?
Oh, I mean, they're just kind of like there. It's like how do I put it? There's like a platform on either side, but it's only like taking up the instead of like so okay, so you know how like I had the one map for the one in Austin, and it's like there's a bridge that gets over the top, and then there's just like the 4 rail lines that just come in and stop right there. So instead with this one, it's almost like one rail line comes in from the east, about like halfway into the building, stops, and then another one comes from the west and stops, and there's kind of like a switch track in between them, to where like they could transfer to the other, and like vice versa. It's almost like a the little funny. Let me I'll draw it like that. And of the 2 lines, and then I'd say that like the little cobalt office. Oh, that's not a drawing. The little cobalt office would be like over here, and then there'd be like the information desk, over here in the platforms. I guess would be here and here. The info desk. Actually, no, it wouldn't be. It wouldn't be here. I gotta fucking move that shit. Awful drawing. Yeah, we'll say info desk here. Funny rail line. Platform here. Cobalt here. Little hawker guy with newspaper here. And you guys would have teleported in over here on the other side. And there'd be like a concession stand maybe here. And that's like pretty much the whole place.
All right. Well, I'll go get our tickets.
Okay. And yeah, the thing for tickets would be like here.
I'll go
Yeah.
grab a newspaper.
Okay. Yeah, we'll say Jacksonville Times, and the headline would be let me check my thing. I just want to double check. Hold on, because I had a thing for this. Tried to make a newspaper, but couldn't find a newspaper maker. Skirmish on Tennessee-Kentucky border ends in victory for for the Confederacy. And then it would essentially be a bit of a propaganda / like fluff piece about how Brave Contractor Unit 135 appeared just in the nick of time to assist. I believe that would be Lee was East Coast, so that might be Stonewall's guys. Yeah, so just in time to assist General Stonewall Jackson's men at the border, completely routing Union forces and pushing over into Kentucky. And then there would be like there'd be like a bit more details about that, but like not so much as in where like it would say troop movements or anything super specific. Like it'd give like general locations, like just enough to where people could be like, yeah, I know where that is, but without like, giving away, military secrets. And then there would be like, a memoriam page where like anyone that's like recently lost their life, so kind of like a
Obituary.
kind of like obits, yeah, but like they're not as like I guess well thought out or written. It's more like it's almost like a killed in action kind of page. So it'd be like, oh, like Beauregard Abernathy from like this place, Georgia. Fucking, sure. Why not? I say we're looking at the Confederacy map. Yeah, and it would be like, yeah, from like Atlanta, Georgia, or Augusta, or something like that. Yeah, we'll say like from Augusta, and like died in Pennsylvania battleground. Stuff like that. And then there would be like the last page would be a couple of adverts for like local businesses, and yeah. It would be like front page has like the original main article. The inside cover is like the obits. The adverts are on the right, and then on the back there's just like a massive advertisement for Machina Industries for working for the trains. It's like if you want a steady job, don't want to get involved with the war. Come work for the rail line. Great pay. Chance to see all of the continental America.
Okay. I guess I'll round back up with the group.
And I'm getting the tickets.
All right, yeah. There's 1, 2, 3, 4. There's maybe 6. Yeah, so 6 of you.
Yeah, technically.
6 of you, and you're heading to New Orleans. So they'd say that there'd be like a couple stops along the way, but one of the major stops, we'll say that this line, even though on the Confederacy map, Mobile, Alabama is a little bit further south of the actual like dotted line for the train. We'll say that it goes through there. So there'll be a stop in Mobile, and then New Orleans is like one of the stops before it starts cutting back up north and heads towards Arkansas through Louisiana. And that'll cost you, we'll say, 5 silver apiece. And there's 6 of you.
Oh. Yeah, I'll pay for everyone.
Non-stop, it'll take 12 to 15 hours.
But since there are stops, how long is that going to take?
I don't know.
That's why I'm asking.
Probably averaging maybe... I don't know. Maybe like an hour a stop. Does that seem right? I don't know.
Well, I mean, like with the old steam engines, yeah, they definitely stopped a while at each location because if it wasn't to get more coal, it was to cool the engine or get more water or also
Sand.
deliver
Sand for traction.
Oh yeah, or deliver postage, and also they weren't always just dropping people off. They were also sometimes like moving entire families or like cattle or like other farm animals and shit. I'd say it would take you Jacksonville, New Orleans on a steam engine on a major line that's making multiple stops. Back then, does like 2 to 3 days sound fair?
Sure.
Yeah.
We'll call it 3. That's like 600 miles. It's fucking yeah. It'll take a better part of 3 days. But yeah, they'll sell you the tickets, and they'll say that the gentleman behind the ticket booth would just say to you, next train's not going to be for at least 3 more hours.
All right.
If you want a suggestion in terms of some place to wait, you're more than welcome to wait at the station, but there's not a lot to do here. But there are some bars in the area. One of them has craps, and the other has faro tables.
Thank you for the recommendation.
My personal favorite's the Whistling Donkey.
So I'll grab our tickets and try to rally everyone to me.
Okay. Do we got to worry about laying low because we're heading out soon?
Well, as long as we don't stick out for the next 3 hours and don't do anything exorbitant.
You know me, I don't do that.
I don't do exorbitant things.
Never have.
Famously
I
not
think-
known.
I think I'd describe orgies as pretty exorbitant. Not gonna lie.
I don't know what you're talking about.
Ed doesn't do those anymore.
It never did though.
Never.
Anywho,
So basically, I just don't get in a fight. I think we're good.
I'm gonna go do some minor tinkering while I wait. There's some bars nearby if you guys really want to drink, or we can just stay here in the train station.
I think we should stick together just in case there is issues.
Anyone opposed to just staying here then?
I can stay. I can wait.
Alright.
I'll try my best.
Okay. You either find a place to sit, or lean, or stand for the next several hours while you wait for your train to arrive. Jarvis, you find we'll say next to the concession stand there's like a few little tables, and you commandeer one of these tables, to which you start to like begin to pull out your stuff, and you watch as a very irate older southern woman just starts yelling at you from the from the concession stand. You gotta buy something first. You want to use that table.
Sure, what do you got?
What you in the mood for? You want something to drink or something to eat?
What do we got to eat?
Well, we got some nuts, some peanuts. We got some. What would they have? Yeah, why not? We got some gator jerky.
Get a jerky.
Oh yeah, tastes just like chicken.
Alright. How much do you think that is? Like a silver?
A couple copper. We'll call it like four copper, and they'll give you a decent like chunk of gator jerky.
I'll pay for it and No, while I work.
Don't scratch up the table.
Don't plan on it.
All right. Jarvis sets up. And I'd say you would watch Aaron. Aaron would. Where did he put it? He would pull out some paper and begin attempting to very intensely write something on said paper. And I think the only person that would immediately recognize this, because they've done it a fair few times already, Bruce, it looks like instead of trying to write a spell into a spell book, he is attempting to scribe a spell to a scroll.
Very cool.
But he gets quite focused on that, and slowly but surely, as this place, people come and go, but it's not too particularly lively. A lot of the folk that do stick around, they just kind of are very what's the term? They're very I guess like languid, lackadaisical. They're not in any particular rush. And I will say, yeah, you're in Florida, but what time of the year is it? It's January. Okay, so it'd be warm, but it wouldn't be that famous Florida like summer weather yet. So like the humidity is not particularly hitting you, but I'd say it's noticeably warmer here than it was in Austin.
Keep shirt on.
Must keep shirt on.
Okay, someone casts precipitation on him to cool him off.
For 6 seconds.
Keep doing that, please. I'll be fine.
But eventually, your train arrives.
All right. I put my stuff in.
It would pull into the station, and you would watch as you would notice it's like an 8-car long train, not counting the engine. The first 4 cars seem to be no, sorry, it'd be the first 5 cars. The first 5 cars just seem to be like your traditional sort of like passenger-esque cars, much like when you took the train to Valentine. Like there's a dining car and a bunch of the seated ones, and there's a sleeper car. But you notice that there's 3 additional cars tacked onto the back. These cars do not have traditional windows. You would see what almost kind of look like arrow slits with large bolts pointing out of them. On the frontmost car and on the caboose, the middle one seems to have steel plating on it and no windows. And when it stops and the general passengers sort of offload off of the train, you would watch as a group of 5 Confederate contractors would stand by on the platform, seemingly just kind of taking advantage of, being off the train for a bit. You'd see like one of them would go over to the concession stand, grab some stuff, another one would head over to the Cobalt Caravan post. But eventually, after like, you're able to board as soon as the people get off. But it takes a little bit before the train like kicks back up again and starts to leave. So it'd probably be there at the station like another 15-20 minutes. But when it finally does go to leave, these contractors will all just kind of like gather back to each other and re-enter the tail end portion of the train.
Well, that's concerning.
Well, let's just get on and not do anything.
But you get on. The conductor. Is it the conductor? I think it's the conductor. Yeah, I don't know. He'll punch your tickets, and you find yourself some seats, and the train starts a rolling. Sugar, sugar, woo woo. I gotta make a Confederacy folder later.
So where are we? Oh.
Unless I'm interrupted.
Over to New Orleans.
I'm working on the hammer.
But you know what? Let's take that quick tenor early. I gotta use the bathroom. So as the train pulls out of the station and you begin on what you estimate to be about a 3-day journey to New Orleans with a number of stops along the way, the most significant of them being Mobile. There's a dining car, there's a sleeping car, some strange military cars tacked on at the end there. But I will say that during the ride, at least initially anyway, Aaron's going to continue focusing on that little project of his, because that's something he wants taken care of. He's locked in, boys. He's hyper focusing.
I'm gonna walk the train down towards the end. I'll stay in the civilian cars, but I just want to go towards the end of the civilian line.
Okay. So, like, effectively, there's the engine, the first car, which seems to be kind of like a crew car, and then there's a dining car, passenger car, sleeper car, and then those other three. So you would go from likely the regular passenger car with all the seats and everything. Walk down into the sleeper car, and then just sort of like get to the end of that, and you would see standing on the portion of like where the each car connects, on the other next car, there's a Confederate soldier just kind of like standing there, standing guard, like looking in your general direction.
How long are each car? Is each car?
Actually, I have an answer for that because I still have those train car maps Give me a moment. Oh, the misery. From door to door, 50 feet. And then like outside of the door, like between the two doors with the little platform, like before the couplings connect, and like the little set of stairs that go down for when it stops at the station. There's about like it's a little bit more of like it's like a 5 to 10 foot gap. So somewhere between 5 and 10.
Okay. Wilford's still a little mad at Mr. Confederate for threatening his family. So I'm going to start making my way back to where we're sitting. While I do so, I'm going to subtle spell telekinesis, uncouple the car that links the civilian cars to the military cars.
Oh my god. Owned. Wait, do it.
Oh.
Absolutely.
Okay.
Just to clarify, are the military cars behind us or in front of us?
Behind.
They're behind. Yeah, they were
Totally
tacked
fine.
onto the end.
We'll
Yeah.
be fine.
The fuck?
Yes, so you do that. And I would say that like it happens. It's very loud out there. The guard doesn't seem to notice. And after a bit, I'd say that like he's standing there and he's just kind of like, just staring in the general direction, almost to a point of where like maybe he's just like bored with it and he's not really paying attention. And you would like, as you're walking forward, beyond like you getting further away from it, you also see like him slowly getting, like whenever you stop, you'd see him like slowly getting further and further away as he drops behind your train. And then you would just before you lost sight of his facial expression, you would just see this look of shock and surprise, realizing that now it is decoupled, and he would just immediately turn around and go into the doorway behind him. But the train would keep chugging.
I mean, clearly it was not hooked up properly.
Yeah, some kind of defect.
Gotta
Damn shame.
gotta take that up with Machina, I guess. I guess there's some faulty mechanism in the coupling. Anyways, back to my seat. The train's gone a
Okay.
little bit faster.
I technically, yeah, actually,
Probably
Quite
a
a
lot
bit faster.
faster because you said one of them was
Yeah.
armored.
yes, one of them was armored. Yeah, you. Oh, that's great. All right. But yeah, and I'll say that like you would have gotten around, you would have gotten on the train. Oh man, so like you went back by 2 time zones. So like, what did I say? I said it was like late afternoon, early evening, when you were getting ready to leave, and you had like, Aaron had taken the time to disguise everyone. So I don't know, like if evening 6. And then you traveled to Jacksonville, which like shot you back 2 hours till like 4. You waited like 2 hours for the train to bring you back to 6. So, yeah. And, it probably would have been after it had gotten dark because you'd already been on the train for a little bit before you decided to do that. Which means it's just going to be that much harder for them to contact anyone or get their carts going again or attached to another train. Let alone figuring out exactly where they are along the track because there's like no fucking mile markers yet. So yeah, you go back to your seat, and I'd say that like
With a bit of a
eventually.
smirk. but just relaxing.
I'd say eventually that like it would get later and people would just like start heading towards the sleeping car. Seems that like there's enough beds for the number of passengers, and that's like about it. And you'd see like the rooms and the beds, they're not gonna fit Ed. You might actually be more comfortable like, I don't know, trying to like sprawl out on the floor or something.
As is tradition.
Yeah,
It's true.
I guess
Yeah,
yeah.
people are okay with that. I think I'll just.
Sorry, but okay, yeah, you just spread out on the floor. Um,
I'm sorry, I was deafened muted because I got a call.
Welcome back.
welcome back. What did you miss detaching the train,
Whether
or
or
were you there
not
for that?
I heard that was a thought. Don't know whether it went through yet.
Oh yeah, no, it happened.
All right then.
Oh yeah, and the train just kept on chugging.
Wonderful. Hope that does not come back to bite us.
Why? It was an
No.
accident.
No. Yeah, us?
Machina clearly made a faulty coupling. And none of you know, so who cares?
We're just little guys.
You're just guys. I'll say you get like a few more hours, and eventually, as you're like, basically everyone moves like over to the cars. You would feel, some of you, if you're lighter sleepers or not sleeping for whatever reason through the night, the train would come to a stop, and were you awake and looked out the window, you would just see that they're at like a one of those like water tower sort of things, filling up the water tank, and then it would slowly just start to kick off again after like a decent amount of time stopped.
Okay.
And then there would be like a little station somewhere along the way, like within the Florida Panhandle area. We'll say that like it ends up stopping, and say that like two people get off, and then a cloaked individual gets on.
I like how the conductor does not give a fuck that the three last cars are gone.
Well,
At that
so
point, it's not my business.
eventually, around dawn, the train would stop again. This time, I would say it would be like another like little like intermediary sort of station. They're not really picking anyone up here. Maybe potentially it's just like a checkpoint. Actually, and you'd see them take from the cart, the car, where like the train staff would sleep. A couple of large like stacks of parcels, and leave them at like this little building on like this lone platform, and you'd watch like just a random kobold come out and collect them and slowly drag them into like this fucking shack that has like a very poorly painted, hand painted version of the kobold caravan logo on the outside of it. It's kind of like slowly peeling away. And around that point, though, there's like a bit of a tizzy, and you'd hear a bunch of shouting now that they have light. And they had a reason to inspect the train in full. They realize that they have lost 3. They are kind of freaking out about it. They would start, you'd hear like a bunch of shouts like asking about a telegraph. And then the poor little kobold would just kind of shrug like, sorry, I don't got that. And they just decide that they're going to send a message out when they get to Mobile. So that's all they can do.
They don't know how long ago they lost it.
Yeah, they're not sure when in the night they lost them. Things were definitely pretty lax, and then it just kind of happened.
I mean, the engineer clearly was not paying attention to the fact that they increased probably a decent chunk of speed.
Happens. He definitely rolled really great on his perception.
100%.
100%, famously. But yeah, so they start going again, start chugging along. And it would now be like the dawn of it would be January 2nd. And I would say most of the day goes by pretty uneventfully. Aaron would once again just be absorbed probably in the dining car for a fair bit of time just because he has like more room to spread out on a larger table. Working on these, which he finally would have told anyone if they asked, that he was working on some spell scrolls. And Jarvis, if you were trying to put any progress in any of your current projects, I'd say you'd probably be able to find a spot on the train to do that as well.
Okay.
Would Bruce, Ed, or Wilfred be tempted to work on anything or do anything?
I mean, I'd grab a spell scroll if I had the materials for it. And I do not. So
I will scribe a spell scroll.
You'll scribe a spell scroll?
Yeah.
Do you have the materials to do so?
I have none of the materials. So.
Wait, do you even have spell slots yet?
No.
I think that's the joke.
he
Okay.
just gets a piece of paper, writes punch on it.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not doing anything as of right now.
Okay. All right.
I'll just telekinesis play catch with myself with a coin.
I'm having trouble going to sleep because my paper crumpled arms are bothering me while I'm trying to leave.
Was it like paper? It's like cloth, right?
Crinkle.
Yeah. It's like yeah, it's handkerchiefs and towels. So I mean, if
felt
anything,
like those, remember those when they made the sun chip bags out of like a different material, and they were just the loudest.
oh yeah. Before they were like that laminated plastic that most chip bags were. Yeah, it used to be that like really weird, like almost like paper plastic.
Yeah.
I guess is like the best way to describe it.
Because they were like biodegradable, which is cool, but also they were like so fucking loud.
Yeah, they really were. They really were. Especially if you tried to like roll them up and throw the chip clip on there. It was just you could not have a midnight snack without waking up the whole house.
So that's just every time you move.
Well, yeah. The whole stopping the microwave before it beeps so that you don't wake anyone up type shit.
Yeah.
But yeah, I mean, it would probably be a little bit uncomfortable for you, Bruce, to some degrees, but I feel like it would maybe like absorb some sweat too, at least in terms of the towels.
But you look huge, dude.
But you look huge, dude.
Hell yeah. All I care about.
You must suffer for your art. Your art is your body. Okay. I will say probably by. Yeah, I'd say like by late evening. No, probably a bit further into the night. You'd eventually arrive after like maybe one other stop in Mobile, and during that time, there would like come an announcement down the line. Like the conductor would come and just let everyone know that like they were going to be stopped for the better part of like an hour or two, as they had lost some cars in the night the previous evening, and that like the situation needs to be rectified and reported to the proper authorities, and that like a partial reimbursement would be credited to the riders for the inconvenience.
Damn. Okay. That's unfortunate
Neat.
for them. It's really a shame that coupling failed.
Yeah, it's so weird. Does that happen a lot?
I guess.
Did the cloaked figure that walked in do anything weird? Or are they? Or can I look around to see if I see them?
Yeah, sure.
Perception.
So I'll tell you this: when they got on, they immediately went to the sleeping car and found themselves a room. Over the course of the day, you have not seen them, but now that it's becoming night again and you start like looking around, you would notice that they are currently sitting in the dining car.
Okay.
They seem to be eating a meal, I will say. But their features, yeah, you would. I mean, it's not a high perception check, but at the same time, you'd notice it because it's weird and like there's nothing to notice. So like the hood being up just completely obscures their face and shadow, and they seem to be like the cloak as a whole very much like obscures. You're unsure as to whether they're like male or female, and their hands do appear to be gloved. But they're just like, and you would watch as like, uh, we'll say yeah, why not? We'll say that like they're having soup, and every time that like the spoon would come up and go to where their mouth is, it would kind of disappear into the shadows of the hood, and then like kind of come back out again.
Okay. So that's like seemed a little supernatural almost, like it disappeared.
Yeah, like it's not just like I can't see because
Right. It's not
it's
just
dark.
Okay.
It's like it's quite literally like disappearing into the darkness. Like the part of the spoon that's being held in their hand, you can obviously like still see, but the rest of it that has gone to presumably feed them, yeah, no, you can't see that.
Okay, I'm going to go up sort of near them and get food from the dinner cart as well.
Okay. Yeah, they'd like Yeah, I'll say they'll bring you. Yeah, why not? Like some cornbread and this sort of like stew adjacent soup, which um they would call what a bad way to describe it. They would call it gumbo.
Hell yeah. Okay. Do I notice anything else getting closer?
Um, Not particularly. I mean, like, it definitely seems like they're eating their food. Like, when you look over, the contents of the bowl is slowly disappearing. And you think, because maybe you're not being so subtle, every so often, like, between bites, either right after or like right before you go to turn to look at them again, you think maybe they were looking at you.
Oh no. Okay. I'll just finish my gumbo and keep an eye.
Okay. Uh, at some point, you become a little too engrossed in your meal. It's quite tasty. You look back again, and not only is the individual gone, but all of their dinnerware has been cleared. And you think to yourself, even if I didn't see them leave the car, I definitely would have heard them bringing all of the plates and stuff like back over here to the cook, like to wash.
Yeah, that seems quick. Okay.
The casted time stop.
What a waste of a spell. Um, but yeah, and I'd say yeah that would probably be that would have been like that interaction. That would have been more around dinner time, so like pre-stopping at Mobile. But then yeah, they'd have the stop in Mobile. Um, Eventually, it seems like everything gets settled, and the train would start making its way again. And trying to think here. Yeah. Nothing particularly would happen during the evening, unless I don't know, like Bruce, if you're going to try and investigate that person anymore, or
Yeah, probably I'll try to look around, see if I can see them anywhere.
okay. Uh, yeah. Since it's like later at night at this point, um, dining car would have closed. Sleeping car is like open. Everybody else has left. Just the regular passenger car. But you would like come out of your room, take a look around, and you'd see that cloaked individual sitting in a chair in the passenger car, sitting in one of the benches. Sorry.
Hmm. Okay. They're not doing anything. They're just sitting there.
They're just sitting there.
Okay. Well, they don't seem to be doing harm to anyone, so I think I'll let it go.
Okay. That night, everyone dies. No.
Yes.
Dad, killed in your sleep.
Turns out they're actually an inquisitor to find out who uncoupled the car. Wake up, Wilfred's fucking gone.
You know what? Screw that. I'm going up to them.
Oh, that's
Okay.
nice.
All right. You go up to them, and you would hear. They don't like seem to immediately notice your approach, but you would hear mumbling.
I'll say, hey, partner, you forgot to tip when you left. Also, did you steal your dishes? Not cool.
The hood would turn towards you
Did you tip?
and like kind of turn almost like questioningly to the side, and then yeah. You would hear within your head, I didn't know I was supposed to tip.
Well, it's just manners.
And I did not steal the plates. I returned them.
You did that mighty fast. I could, I like tricks. If you want to teach me your trick.
You watch as like the hood kind of like looks you up and down. Perhaps I could. How inclined to the arcane are you?
Extremely.
Very well. This individual will begin attempting to teach you how to cast telekinesis. Or actually, no, I'm sorry, not telekinesis. I'm stupid. Telekinesis was the thing that Wilford did. That's why it's on my mind. Will attempt to teach you how to cast Mage Hand.
Okay.
Which I think you might already know how to cast.
I do.
You will notice, however, that upon casting his, it is invisible.
Oh.
And when he goes to cast a spell and you recognize the spell, would you demonstrate that you too like know how to cast this spell?
Yeah, I would.
Okay. So yes, you would like you'd begin to see him do it. And you're like, oh, that's Mage Hand. So you cast it, and your Mage Hand appears. You hear him chuckle. He would cast his. It would not appear, but you would know that he had cast the spell. I guess is the best way to put it. And then you would feel your hat lift up off of your head and then be put back down again, and you get flicked on the nose very lightly.
Whoa.
And then he would say, if you're willing to learn, I can teach you. There are some subtle changes to the spell that you already know that will allow you to be able to achieve this.
That sounds awesome. I'm getting a little scared here. Can I ask who you are?
He make a persuasion check.
Okay. Persuasion. Okay.
Of I'm afraid I cannot reveal that to you at this time.
Are you a friend?
Friend would require us to have gotten to know each other better, to have built more significant of a rapport. I am an acquaintance in passing, I think would be the best way to categorize myself. But if you mean to ask, am I an enemy? I do not believe that I am your enemy. You do not seek to imprison me, do you?
No, I don't.
Then you have nothing to fear from me.
You seem quite powerful. Is there a way I can reach you? I mean, I consider myself a student of the arcane, no matter what format.
Hmm. Yes. I will only be on this train as far as New Orleans. It is not where I make my home. But if you wish to meet me again, to learn more than just this, he would tell you, give me 1 second. There's a church in the French Quarter in New Orleans. Climb to its steeple. When you get there, there will be a lantern and 2 candles, one red and one black. Light the red candle. Someone will contact you and lead you to me.
Did you say what district it was in?
You said the French Quarter.
French Quarter. All right. Well, I appreciate it. And just between you and me, I know you stole those plates.
You would hear him chuckle, and as he chuckles, you can just subtly hear beneath the cloak the clanking of silverware.
He's too good.
He would then spend a little bit more time attempting to teach you how to do this. So make me call it a spellcasting ability. Yeah, spellcasting ability check.
So just straight int.
Okay. You already know how to cast the spell. There seems to be this slight change to the overall manipulation of the weave. Something almost as if like you're simultaneously pouring in your willpower to like conceal, but also there's like slight. I always forget. I know not every single word has word. Not every single spell has a vocal component. But we'll say that in this case, maybe the sematics change ever so slightly, or vocally you pronounce the casting of the spell ever so slightly different.
Mage Hand is
Uh,
vocal and somatic.
No, okay, so yeah, there's like a slight additional flourish to his hand motions towards the end of the casting, and there's a slight change in like cadence to the speaking of the arcane words to cause it to appear. And by the end, though, you are now capable of casting your mage hand invisibly.
Holy shit.
You learn quick. It's a shame I cannot give you my name just yet. There is more that remains to be seen, but would you be so kind as to give me yours?
Jarvis Limpsmith. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding.
That's
Amazing work.
I'd
I
say
Turns
mean-
out he's a fae, and Jarvis can no longer say his name.
that would be
It's like, oh, yeah, I'll take that, thank you.
hilarious.
I'm Bruce Summers.
Interesting. Well, Mr. Summers, I'm glad that fate had us meet this evening.
As am I. And I hope one day I'll get to know your name for real. I'll
I
get
hope
that
so,
candle.
too. Yes. Ah. One last, we'll call it piece of advice. The city can be treacherous. Especially of late, many strange things have been happening. I would avoid the city of the dead if I were you. There is a local group that prowls it, known as the Sons of Samdi. They are Haitian immigrants that practice voodoo.
Okay.
They don't take kindly to outsiders. Or is it hoodoo? I always forget.
Voodoo's
The bad one. Oh, it's the voodoo. Yeah.
They're both fine, but voodoo is Haitian.
Oh, so I did the right one then.
Yeah.
Okay, good. I did the right one. This is
Being
the
misinformed me.
but yeah, and after he would say that, he would open a window, and you would watch as he would quite literally like hold onto the frame above the window and just kind of jump up, straighten his legs, and like swing himself out through the window. And seemingly, because you would hear the resounding thud, land on the roof of the train.
What the fuck? Okay, well I'll definitely go to that candle. And I'll make my way back to the group.
Okay. Oh yeah, you would have passed Mobile here. Uh, yeah, so that evening would pass through. The morning would come. A few more stops along the way until eventually, just after sundown, you would pull into quite a large station, almost identical in size to the one in Austin. As this sprawling city lies before you. And I know it's pretty early, but I think I'm going to call it here because there's quite a few different things that I want to plan out a little bit better, and I don't want to jump into you guys starting to go through the stuff here in the city until after the special.
Mm-hmm.
So,
The special.
the special
Because when we get into combat,
Christmas.
it'll be a bit complicated because we'll be like guessing if Walter is here or not.
Yeah. There's quite a lot of potential for many different things going forward. So, yeah. So we'll call that there for now. So yes, next week is Walter Christmas special.
Walter, yeah, send me character info, except for back because you have Walter.
I'll send you my backstory.
Yeah, send me your backstory.
Send me your backstory.
Ooh, yes. Yeah, I haven't really looked at Roll20 stuff yet, but I will do that this weekend and
Yeah,
be ready by then.
I have the maps. I just gotta put them in on Pages. But I do have the folder ready for you. It is labeled Walter.
Stupendous.
And I can also make an additional folder like in for the like NPCs and stuff. For that, some folders and subfolder stuff. But yeah, so what did we say? We said level 12, and did you want like them to know him or anything like that?
They can. They don't have to.
Okay. I'm gonna do that funny thing with the
other commoner,
commoner.
who's Walter's
Yeah.
Patterson. But
Yeah,
they
Walter's-
saw it goes
Walter's
together
Patterson.
and he failed his save.
Yes.
What do I name this guy?
What's a synonym of Smith?
Larry.
Larry.
I love a Larry.
That
I
would
really
work
do.
for a last name.
Synonym of Smith
Isn't
is
that
Right.
Is that what a right is? Right. Yeah, I was
Right.
thinking right.
Taylor.
Give me Melvin.
Well, no,
give me a Melvin. Give
his
me
family
Melvin
was-
right.
Also blacksmiths, but they ran out of business because the superior dwarven style came to town.
Could be a Melvin. Could be a Dlinken.
Lincoln?
Dlinken has history in this.
well, what Lincoln right
Dlinken right.
or Melvin right?
Yeah, something of the Melvin archetype.
My name is Smelvin right.
Yes. Melvin.
I think Melvin can work. Melvin right. Just call
That's a
him
great
Mel
name.
for short. Yeah. Okay, I gotta make this guy now.
Very good.
Oh yeah, I don't
Yeah.
even have to roll stats because it's all just
All
tens.
10. I mean, you can roll
What
stats
an
and
easy
see
life.
how sad and happy you'll be based on the the
So
stuff.
many 18s.
Yeah, if you roll a
Too
bunch
bad
of
they're all
18s, you'll be
10s
sad. If you
instead.
roll a bunch of 4s, you'll be happy.
But you know what I could do, because I think we did this for the Marcus adventure and also for the adventure. Where's the fucking the thing, Beck? You know what I'm talking about, the item list, the thing that I stole
Oh,
from
yeah,
Bean.
yeah. It's an Eve of Ruin.
I'm gonna go to bed.
It was not pinned.
Good
All right,
night.
good night.
Good night.
Yeah, you know what I'm talking about, right?
Yeah, the
I
item list.
mean,
Yeah, I'm looking for it. So
Luke,
far
because
back.
you ended up you used it for your guy. Well, actually, yeah, all you guys used it for your guys for the Marcus thing, right?
I seem to recall. Yes. What are you
Are
talking
you?
about?
Well, yeah. Well, I guess
Starter
what I
items.
should
Here we
ask
go.
is if
I
you're
got it.
okay with
Put
it.
in
Yeah,
the
it's a starting item thing. Yeah.
Nope, not that. That's Walter's letter.
Oh yeah, that is what you just pasted.
Can I get some idea for what it's kind of doing to get an idea for character?
Like what we're doing.
Yeah, is it like at Walter's house? Like,
It's gonna start. So it's gonna start on the train to Maine, and then
Okay.
it is going to partially also be like with Walter's family,
okay,
Have you
and
put
that
in
is all
the
I can
main
tell
map
you
yet, Dylan?
so far.
okay.
Yeah, I put the main map in.
Pull it
You-
up.
the-
I put work in it.
Hey, hold on. Here's the main map. Not to be confused with the main map. Yuck.
Okay. Oh right, this. Yes, I
I
definitely
even highlighted Pittsfield.
saw this.
How zany should we go for these characters?
Zany as you want.
Okay.
I made a chair that was turned into a goblin for the adventure. I say go all out.
Yeah, you can send me as many secrets and bullshit as you want to send me.
Yeah, because I've been sitting on one for a while.
Oh yeah, make some fuck shit.
Oh boy, I'm scared now.
We'll have commoners
Yeah.
and an absurd multi-class who secretly kills the whole party.
Oh no, I don't know what class he's gonna be. I just
know he's gonna kill the whole party.
You can't commoner multi-class until level 10 when you get Never Knew My Grandma. And then you have to take the changing ability score to 19. And then whatever ability score you put it in, you can multi-class into that. You can't do Paladin because it requires 2 13s.
You know what I'm probably gonna have to do, just for simplicity's sake, is I think I'm going to make a copy of Walter's sheet, remove the magic items from the copy, and then just like go from there so that I don't have to type everything out. And also, you already have the macros or whatever set up so that I can do the commoner combos.
Oh yeah, sure. Steal all my. I mean, my stuff is different now because I took up great weapon fighting.
Ah, fuck.
So
never
like
mind.
when I roll booming pitchfork, it'll re-roll all the 1s and 2s.
Oh yeah, no, I can't do that then. I'll just do it from scratch. I'll go through the processes.
yeah, that's what I'm cooking with right now.
I'm simultaneously excited and scared to see what's going to happen.
That's good.
I've been excited to play Walter again. It's been too long.
Yeah.
Far too long.
Been a while since I last saw you.
All right, I am going to head out. Good session, everybody.
As will I.
Thank you.
Next
Have a
week
good
we'll
night.
do the Christmas special.
Cool.
Woo!